Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of the social media account. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. With that said, looking at the economic calendar, I don't really see much this week, except I do see Powell on Tuesday at 2 p.m. That's all I see for right now, but I'm sure that will change throughout the week. So hopefully this week will be very, very volatile like last week. And with that said, I'll get into it. A lot of the stocks have just been beaten down so much. And before I pull up Microsoft, even though I have it loaded, I want to look at SPY, because SPY has not had a green, well, yeah, we had a green day, but we haven't had that ridiculous move like right here, a 12-point move. We had a little bit of a gap up, a little bit of a run, but we haven't had that real ridiculous run. If SPY, well, I might as well just go over right now, I guess, while I have it up. SPY gets over 405, over this little area right here. You can see it inverted head and shoulders on the hourly right here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. It gets over this 405 area, 404 area. It's probably going to make it run to 410, 415, 420. Middle Keltner right here, 20 EMA on the daily is at 415. And you can probably do that in one day. So it gets over 405 tomorrow. It's probably going to make it run to 415 pretty fast. So definitely keep an eye on that. It probably is still going to end up being short the market. You know, we have Powell this week coming up on Tuesday, so we have a strong run on Monday. It's probably going to get shut down by Powell or something like that. Then we get FOMC coming up in a couple weeks. Yeah, a couple weeks. So the market will probably start looking forward to that. But let's see what happens this week. Take one day at a time and just go based on, because we've been having massive gap up and gap downs every day. So I like to kind of not gas, kind of wait to see where things open up and just play from there. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to keep doing that this week. So, but like I said, so many stocks have been beaten up, taken to the woodshed, that they should have a dead cat bounce or a pretty good at least pop this week, even if it's another short the pop kind of move. But yeah, SPY definitely over 404, 405 for run to 410, 415, 420. Then Microsoft, go back to Microsoft, is where I was talking about that. Microsoft, it goes with SPY. It's going to end up going with SPY pops. Microsoft's going to end up going with it. So watch it over 263 for a push to 270, 275 is a big area, 280, 290, 300 would be a big psychological number. It's got a gap right there at 295, so it likely will probably stall out at 290 unless the market's really strong. Then you can probably look for a gap to 300. So definitely watch that. NVDA, another one. As you can see, a lot of these tickers have had their first green day in a while, and the weekly candles on a hammer, so we could see a little bit of a run. Same thing with SPY. Inverse head and shoulders, left head, right shoulder on the hourly for anything over 180 for a push to gets over 180. It's probably going to jump to 200, 205, 210, 215, 220. So definitely be watching NVIDIA. Shop is one that's been really beaten down. There's a lot of stocks that are really beaten down. I've been kind of just waiting and watching, and Shop is another one. I mean, look at it. It was at 1760, now it's at 400. It's really, really crazy. So I'd watch it over this high candle right here, which is Friday. We'll say over 408 for a push to gap resistance, 422, 420, round down. Then gap fill to 450, 475, 500, basically every $25. This thing likes to run, so Shop can have a really, really big running day. I mean, this range right here is what, 647 to 780. So that was a $150 move, almost $140 move right there. So definitely could see a $100 move on Shop, no problem. So definitely keep an eye on that. It's probably gonna be expensive. So Facebook Same thing. You know, SPY has a green day. All these things are going to run. So you just pick and choose which one you like. Facebook over, say, 200. Gets over 200. It's going to make a run to, let's see, 205, 210, 215, 220, 225. Basically, Facebook likes to run every $5. So have to keep an eye on Facebook if that does end up starting to go. And Roku's been beaten down so much. And Roku, you know, I've been watching Roku, and it hasn't had a really strong day in a long time. And I was looking at it on Friday, and their spreads were bad, and there was no volume on the options, so I didn't really like that. So I stayed away from it. It's too bad because they ended up going really, really massive. Because I was looking at the, I think the 93 calls or 90 calls or something, and they just went berserk. And there was no volume, like I said, and the spread was kind of nasty, so I didn't take it. But Roku definitely hasn't had that $40 day in a long time. So I watched over Friday's highs of 98. Push to 100, 105, 110, 115. You get a gap fill right here, the 120, 115 area, and then push to 120. So, I mean, it seems like a lot, but, you know, Roku, it can have a 20, 30, $40 day easily. It used to all the time, and it just hasn't in a long time. Netflix is another one that's been beaten down and getting hammered on. I mean, this thing is just crazy how cheap it was. I made it down to, what, 162, and it popped back up to 187. So I would watch it over Friday's high of what, watch it over 187 for a push to 200. 200 would be a big psychological number, but if there's any strength behind it, it's going to blast right through it. Push to 205, 210, 220. Then you get the 225, 230, 240. You get gap resistance right here, the 245, 250 area. So I highly unlike that it's going to break the gap resistance right there and end up pulling back. So that Tesla's another one. You know, it's the bottom of the Kelly channel on the weekly. It wicked last time it was down here like it is right now. So we'll have to see. There's been so much distractions with Elon Musk and Twitter, and just not been really doing that well. So we'll have to see if it can actually get any momentum. So I'd watch it over Friday's high of what, 780, pushed 800, gets over 800. It's probably going to end up pushing, 810, 820. Then you get the gap fill right here at 850. So Tesla can end up having a crazy run, 850. You can even see it get up to 900 if he's getting any really crazy momentum behind it. Like I said, the last time it was down here at a nice little bounce, so it could have a nice bounce. It's pretty far away from the RCT trend line, which is right here. It acts as a magnet, so that's up here at the 880 area, so it definitely get a push up to that area. Apple's another one. I don't really trade Apple that much because you get used to the SPX and the other ones. They don't really move nearly as much, but people that do like to trade Apple and the smaller plays like that don't run crazy, more manageable. Apple, I would watch it over 148 for push to 150, 152, 160, 155. Then you get the 157 area, 160. So really big area be the 155 area, be the really big area, because this is where it's been finding support, which is going to be now heavy resistance. And you get this trend line right here, which it did break below. As you can see on the weekly, it broke below, and that will act as resistance too. So and the 20 EMA is right there, so it's probably going to be a really big significant resistance at 155. You get the 20 EMA, you get the trend line, and you get the actual price. So definitely watch that. And I got Baba on the list. I mean, Baba's just been getting hammered on. Baba been getting hammered on. So I would definitely watch it over, let's say 90 for a push to, probably 100. You can get 110, 120. This Baba doesn't get any momentum behind it at all. Any momentum gets shut down pretty quickly. So if it does, it's probably going to be a short-lived run. 100 would probably be the real big number it will have trouble getting over. So Baba, keep an eye on it, I guess, a little bit, but I only look at Baba when it has massive gap ups for a morning dump. So those that want to play it on the long side, it is there. The setup's there, inverted head and shoulders like a lot of the other ones. Left head, right shoulder. So you could definitely play that if you wanted to. And so that's gonna do it on the watch list. Hope to see you in the room. Thanks for watching.